Barney Ross defends his lightweight and light welterweight championships against Tony Canzonieri, the man he'd taken the titles from 3 months earlier. New York City, 12th of September 1933.
Canzonieri says he was robbed in that first fight, and here in New York on home territory he aims to make amends. Canzonieri with the stripe down the side of his shorts. Ross, taller man with reach advantage. A lot of support though for Canzonieri. The Italian community has turned out in force. Barney Ross being paid $35,000 for this defence of his title. Been training in Wisconsin. Well, not too much between them in a close opening round. Into the third. Hectic second round. And with inside work in that second round. Pace understandably maybe showing signs of slowing slightly. Canzonieri has a very upright style. You'd expect he was going to be vulnerable. He keeps his hands very low. Not a big puncher, Tony Canzonieri. Only 30 of his 96 wins have come by way of knockout. Referee Arthur Donovan having to split them. Ross is using his reach advantage well. A little bit messy inside. Just get the impression that Ross might have the superior jab. Barney Ross, or the pride of the ghetto as they call him, from Chicago. Came from a real rough, tough upbringing. Ross's mother at ringside. His father was shot dead when he was a boy of just 15. Really can't be too much between these two at this stage. Been too much of that mauling and clinching though. Not been a particularly pretty fight to watch. Good jabs from Ross. Trying to pick off that exposed chin of Canzonieri. Not a huge amount of power in that jab of Ross, but nevertheless he's picking up points. Canzonieri looking for the power shots. Remember Canzonieri with the white stripe on his shorts. Canzonieri trying to use his mobility, trying to distract Ross, get him off his wrong foot. And again, not too much between them. Into the 7th round. Must be close on the judge's scorecard. Not a lot of variety in Canzoneri's work. Ross working away behind the jab. Into the cut around the right eye of Ross. Clearly there's now some bleeding around the right eyebrow. Another tight round. Ross might have just edged that one. So into the 8th. Second half of the fight now. Well, it was a close fight the first time they met. Only a majority decision in favour of Barney Ross. It looks as though it could be close again this time. Canzoneri trying to get inside, trying to get in close and turn this into a brawl. Ross, a good boxer, he'd sooner work behind the jab and move. And Canzoneri clearly trying to make it into more of a brawl. Canzoneri waiting for Ross to commit himself and then ducks low. But Ross so adept at just tying him up when he does get inside. Referee Arthur Donovan seems to have been as busy as anybody so far. Very untidy work. And Ross caught Canzoneri inside. Canzoneri working away to the body, but he does leave his chin exposed, relying on his reflexes to sway out of the danger area. And Ross is almost saying to him, if you choose to stand there and offer me your chin, I'm going to go for it. And Canzoneri trying to make a fight of it, trying to make a brawl of it, but Ross is edging this round. Good exchange, and Ross getting the better of it. Again, there was a right hand went in from Canzoneri, but Ross hammered home with a real fast combination. Well, I thought Barney Ross won that round. Canzoneri tried to up the pace. Into the 9th. This fight coming into a crucial phase. Ross, the champion, trying to fight at range. Two more scoring jabs from Ross. Oh, good right hand from Canzonieri, and Ross took it well. Good left hook from Canzonieri. Oh, tremendous exchange. Great action. And Canzonieri's coming back and having his best spell of the fight so far. And then Ross nailed him with a left hand. Crowd's on its feet at ringside. More fast hooks from Ross. And Canzonieri doing no more than just lean on. Good round, and Ross again, I think, got the better of it. So into round 11. 15 rounds. Ross, who won this lightweight title from Canzonieri in controversial circumstances in Chicago. Here in New York, Ross on the right-hand side of his picture looks as though he might be edging it again. But Canzonieri with a lot of local support, he was the betting favourite coming into this. Well-matched fighters. Ross hasn't really been able to use that superior reach as well as he might have wished. But when Canzonieri has got inside, more often than not, Ross has tied him up so effectively. There again you see Canzonieri trying to get inside and Ross just totally stopping him. Good jab. Canzonieri trying to take Ross out of his stride, trying to maul and work away inside, only just off target with a wild sort of right hook. Canzonieri starting to look tired. Good hook from Ross. Into the 12th. Ross almost ran off his stool to get into the action again. Two good shots, two good jabs from Canzonieri. Quality work. And up on his toes now, trying to use his mobility. he's starting to look a little bit lethargic. In the 12th round, and these last rounds could well prove decisive. And Canzonieri is having a good one. Trying to unload his right hand. Ross made to miss with the left hook. Been a much better round this for the challenger. The referee having to manhandle them apart yet again. Oh, good exchange. And Canzonieri again, for me, getting the better of it here, hammering away to the body. Good round for the challenger. Into the 13th. And Tony Canzonieri, you get the feeling that he thinks he can win this now. A real spring in his step. On the left-hand side of your picture, Tony Canzonieri, the challenger. 24-year-old New Yorker. Is he going to win his title back? Really shouldn't be able to out-jab Barney Ross, but he started to do so. Ross being beaten to the punch repeatedly now. And he's starting to take a bit of a pummeling. Good combination from Canzonieri, left, right. And working effectively inside. It's almost as though Tony Canzonieri, after 10 or 11 rounds of frustration, has found a way of getting to Barney Ross. Good shot again, right uppercut. Ross coming forward, trying to mount his own attack. But this round, like the last, so far as I'm concerned, has gone the way of the challenger. Barney Ross picking up his gum shield on his way back to his corner, into the 14th. The last 6 minutes could be crucial. Canzonieri still keeping his gloves low contemptuously and trying to dig that left hook into the champion's ribs. If body language tells the story of this fight, Canzonieri looks like the man who's on his way to victory. He's really coming on strong in these closing minutes. But did Barney Ross do enough in the early stages? Canzonieri's surely been told by his corner that he's got to get out and win these last 2 rounds. He's got to force the pace, and that's what he's trying to do. Referee's a busy man again. Canzonieri, though, looks as though he's won that round once more emphatically. So the final round of a contest which has really come alive in the last 4 or 5. Majority decision last time, and it's been close again. Ross trying to raise his action, raise the pace. Canzonieri on the left-hand side of your picture needs a big last round. But it's Ross who's forcing the pace. Oh, good shot from Canzonieri. Hint of a low one from Ross. Right hand looked as though it strayed low. Canzonieri looking for the power shot to maybe give him a crucial advantage, even at this stage. Furious exchange in the closing moments. The New York crowd think that Canzonieri's won it, but Ross it is who's had the better of the last round. Epic encounter, and who's going to get the verdict? It's Barney Ross. It's Ross by split decision.
In a 10-round non-title rematch, Barney Ross meets the Fargo Express, Billy Patrol. New York City, 24th of January, 1934.
So Billy Patrol, with his back to us, in his 160th professional contest. And Patrol starting well. Ross was only just off target with that big right hand. Patrol by 5 years the older man. He's fought at high level, beaten Canzonieri in the past, fought 2 very, very close fights against Jack Berg. Good right hand from Ross, and following up with a smart left as well, and that's backed up Patrol. Anxious times for the Fargo Express. Good work from Ross in the closing seconds of that round. Into the second. This fight for the light welterweight title. Good atmosphere in Madison Square Garden. The referee going to have to get between them, and he does. Classy boxer, Barney Ross. Patrol trying to work away to the body and having a little bit of success as he does so. First time these two met, Ross won it on points. But Patrol's won all 4 contests since then, and he's landed a good right hand, good body shot. And good work from Barney Ross right on the bell. Patrol just plods forward. But he is a powerful puncher. In fact, he's had more knockout victories than Barney Ross has had fights. Ross with his back to us, just swaying around and evading most of Patrol's work. Ross likes to fight at distance, likes to work behind that jab, and that's a good combination. Good, smart, fast hands from the champion. Fast jab from Patrol, right on the bell. Barney Ross probably ahead after the first 3 rounds. It's rather a good job that didn't connect. Patrol's face showing signs of marking up already. Throws those hooks from a very wide angle, does Billy Patrol. And that one was round the back. Also around the back of the referee, so he got away with it. Cat and mouse sort of stuff at this stage. Predictable look about a lot of Patrol's work, though. Another neat combination. And Ross is dictating the terms of this fight now. Patrol being beaten to the punch. Body shots going in from Patrol, but that wild right was really way off target. Patrol looks older than his 29 years. But he's had a long, hard ring career. And for me, another round up for Barney Ross. Fifth round, and the Fargo Express looks anything but. Barney Ross with his back to us, well in control. Both stand 5'7", but Ross has so much more mobility and uses his height and his reach. Oh, good right hand. Patrol certainly felt that one. Billy Patrol already starting to look a little bit jaded in there. Ross knows he can hurt him now. He's got so much the superior hand speed. And Billy Patrol at this stage is looking at an old fighter for me. There's a predictable look about his attacks. Ross wins that round and wins it big. Sixth round already, Barney Ross clearly ahead on the judges' cards. Patrol lumbering forward. His right hand's the danger punch. He's not really been able to get through once with it, with any real meaning so far. Again, good hand speed from Barney Ross, doubling up so well with the left hand. Patrol trying to work behind his own jab, but he's being out-jabbed, beaten to the punch and picked off there as he comes winging in behind that wild right hand. Ross just trying to measure him up, and there goes the attack. Good body shots. And varying his attack, carrying it to the head. Patrol's been around for a long time, but the superior boxing skills unquestionably coming from the younger champion. There's a good left hook from Patrol, which started this. Oh, and they're ready to go toe-to-toe now. We've seen who's the better boxer, unquestionably Barney Ross. Now we're going to see who's the stronger man. And Patrol really did bravely throw everything at him. Seventh round. Barney Ross on the right-hand side of your picture. He's the man who's ahead. Ross came into this fight having won his previous 29. And we really are seeing a fighter at his very, very best. Virtuoso stuff. Tough background, Barney Ross, but over in Chicago they call him the pride of the ghetto, and you can see why. So evasive and so dangerous at the same time. Patrol bravely coming forward, still trying to throw bombs of his own. He's taking an awful lot, though, to get through. It's almost a policy of take 2 or 3 and then try and get through with one big bomb of your own. And so far as Barney Ross is concerned, the signs are that it suits him fine. Turns his body and provides such an elusive target. Good boxing skills again from Barney Ross. Ross on the left-hand side, way ahead, surely. Just toying with Patrol. Patrol's got a great chin, but he's really never truly been in this fight. Virtuoso stuff from the champion. Patrol forced to backpedal. Oh, good shot. Barney Ross hardly missing a punch when he opens up. Punch selection is so good. And it's turning out to be a one-sided and painful beating, this. Billy Patrol, the Fargo Express, 29 years old now. He's been a professional for a long time. He's mixed with the best, but he's on the receiving end of a beating. Still trying to fire home, coming lumbering in. Two, 3 left hooks from Ross as he worked away off those ropes. And again, flashing combinations. Terrific work from Ross. Bravery from Patrol, but he's getting a hiding. Patrol still bravely coming forward. And a good body shot. Haymaking right hand hasn't really been too much of a problem for Barney Ross. But this is guts from Patrol. He took a hammering in the last round. But suddenly, from somewhere, he's finding the stamina and the resolve to fight his way back in this one. Ross content to just try and keep his man at bay and spear him with the left jab. He surely knows that he must be a long way ahead on points. He's just got to avoid the danger shots. And Patrol's having his best round for some time. Good body shots. Good body shots from Patrol, and he's really dragged Barney Ross back into a furious exchange. And that overhand right got in as well. Ross being forced to trade. Well, Billy Patrol, I think, has won this round. He's carried the fight to him, and well might Barney Ross just give him that touch of acknowledgement at the end of the round. Tenth and final round. Has Barney Ross done enough? Can Billy Patrol somehow find the big punch which could yet turn this round? Patrol in his 160th professional fight. Ross still looking fresh, still up on his toes. Classy fighter. Oh, more smart work from the champion. His balance is so good. Well, they're holding on a little bit there. And no surprise if they're starting to get tired in the dying seconds of this fight. Another big left hand from Ross. And another. Patrol, is he going to see it through to the final bell? Well, Billy Patrol has seen a lot of class fighters through his career, but he's up against an exceptional man here. Ross picking him off in the closing seconds of the round. It's been a fine fight, but there can be no question about who's won it. And Ross with the blurring hand speed, finishing on the offensive. Patrol gamely still trying to come forward. And the crowd have loved this one. And Barney Ross surely must have won that. The embrace is genuine. And here comes the verdict. Yes, and it's Barney Ross, still the champion. An exceptional performance. Billy Patrol, a brave old fighter, but the champion still is Barney Ross. And Patrol, well, for him, where from now? He was brave, but just didn't have enough. And the champion of the world is still Barney Ross. And Patrol, little playful punch, he knows he was beaten by a very, very fine fighter indeed.